Hello, fantasy managers. Welcome back to the First Pitch Podcast, part of the Pitcher List Podcast Network. My name is Carson Picard. I'll be your host for this edition of the pod, and let's get into everything baseball related from Thursday, July 23rd, which was basically nothing. This is going to be one of the shortest episodes of the First Pitch Podcast, so let's get into it. Basically, no injury notes to talk about. Jack Caglione was out of the lineup for a second consecutive day, but besides that, pretty much the standard fare. The couple rehab starts I have to mention here are Ben Joyce and Clay Holmes coming back. They were assigned to their rehab teams yesterday, so road to recovery for those two guys is steadily going. But the big news is that Ronald Acuna Jr. expected back this weekend. Not sure if that's today. The lineups haven't been posted as I'm recording this, but I don't believe he's in yet. However, sometime this weekend, expect the speedster and the superstar to return. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for the news and notes, right? I looked, just not that much happened. So, and that's going to be the theme of this episode. We move on to some notable performances. The hitters, again, there were 5 games yesterday. It's a Thursday, light on the content normally. Hitter of the day, I think, is going to be Tyler Locklear. Someone called up recently, and he's done really well in a few games that he's been up with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 3 for 5, double home run in the game yesterday. Really solid outing for him. Dylan Dingler, nice performance, 2 for 3, a double and a walk, continuing to establish himself as one of the best catchers in baseball. Gabriel Moreno, if you do not have him rostered in your leagues, go check the waiver wire. He's only, I think, 82% rostered on Fantrax. We mentioned him on the Shallows podcast yesterday. Your deeper league listeners are like, yeah, of course he's been rostered. But 3 for 4 with a double. Moreno has been one of the best catchers in baseball for the last couple months. Adrian Del Castillo went 3 for 5, double and a stolen base. Alec Burleson, 3 for 5 with a pair of doubles. Stephen Kwan continuing a hot streak, 2 for 4, stolen base and a walk. Michael Harris Jr., 2 for 4 and a home run. And finally, honestly, Albies, 2 for 4 and a home run himself. Daily Batters Box article goes over all of these as I take a very short break and come back to you with my starters, my reliever report, and the preview of today's games. All right, welcome back to the First Pitch Podcast here. We move on now to the starting pitchers, and this is a bit more to talk about. Why was the hitter section so short? Because a lot of starting pitchers had a great day. The pitcher of the day, though, has to be Gavin Williams. This was a great start for the power pitcher out of Cleveland. 7 innings, no earned runs, 2 hits, no walks, 11 strikeouts, 97 pitches. 3 of those strikeouts coming in the same inning on 9 pitches. An immaculate inning for Gavin Williams against my Minnesota Twins. 20 whiffs, 37 CSW percent. Williams has these starts, and he's had these starts recently where he has just been very overpowering, where he has been able to really be effective with his approach. And there's like another gear that he's trying to get into where he can really be pushed into very elite category. He is not in that company yet, but this is an excellent start from Gavin Williams. One of the finer starts you're going to see all year, like a 96th percentile start in Major League Baseball. Honestly, probably higher. Taj Bradley dueled him admirably, went 7 innings, 1 earned run, 2 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks, 109 pitches, went a long ways. 8 whiffs, 24 CSW percent, though kind of a bleh start for Taj Bradley. The fastball was just kind of not great today. Cutter and splitter doing a lot of work to compensate for it, but Bradley able to get away with perhaps a worse performance on the mound than per usual. Chris Sale had a Chris Sale start and then some. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts, 98 pitches, 23 whiffs, 42 CSW percent. It was a crazy good outing as far as the swing and miss is concerned for Chris Sale. B+ POV. It's a Chris Sale start. You know what you're getting. The earned runs gonna nag on him a bit, but still, I mean, you're looking at a guy that's he's been doing this for a decade. Future Hall of Famer Chris Sale. Ace is gonna ace. Shane Bieber goes 7 innings, 1 earned run, 3 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts on 86 pitches, 8 whiffs, 29 CSW percent. I believe on here I said that Shane Bieber was kind of cooked. Whoops. My bad, y'all. He's been all right. And I don't know if in shallower leagues or anything, he's like really that interesting I mean, you kind of see here, like, not a lot of swing and miss strikeouts going on. Nevertheless, proving he can still be effective and has bounced back from a horrible start for a couple decent starts in a row. So good on Shane Bieber. Troy Melton goes 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 4 walks, 5 Ks, 90 pitches, 10 whiffs, 29 CSW percent for the Detroit Tigers. Melton's been a bright spot in the Tigers lineup, which is, or rotation rather, which has generally been pretty good. And Melton continues it here, a little shaky. The command starting to get a little looser for him here in this outing, but generally not half bad. And finally, Ian Seymour worked as a follower yesterday. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks, 87 pitches, 12 whiffs, 31 CSW percent, just a CPOV grade. But Ian Seymour generally outperforms some of the pitch modeling metrics that we have. Some of that's just because pitch mix stuff. But generally, like, Seymour has been really nice. And if he's going to be continued to use as a follower, for the Points League listeners out there, do be aware of that. Because if he doesn't have to use you one of your weekly starts, can really matter a lot. Give the Plus Pitch Podcast a listen and check out Nick and Jake's daily SP Roundup for more information on these pitchers. And then so we move on to the reliever report, which is surprisingly busy. Sometimes I have full slates of games where you barely get any saves. Yesterday in 5 games, we had 4 saves. Rafael Iglesias picks up his 21st save of the year for the Atlanta Braves. Jack Anderson picks up his first save of the year for the Kansas City Royals. Louis Varland picks up his 21st save of the year for the Toronto Blue Jays. And Kyle Finnegan picks up his 2nd save of the year for the Tigers. And I realize Jack Anderson does not play for he plays for the Minnesota Twins, and I just completely forgot it. That shows you how much I know about the Twins bullpen this year. It's just a million different names. Moving on. Who blew it? That's what you care about. John Schreiber blew it absolutely for the Royals. That's why it got stuck in my head. 1 inning, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. One of them, some of them came on the long ball. Schreiber came into this game with I believe it was a 3-1 lead, and it did not last. The Tigers end up winning this one, and it's unfortunate because actually Randy Dobnak pitched a pretty decent outing, and I didn't even mention him in the bit earlier because it's like, it's Randy Dobnak, gold star, move on. Sorry, Randy. But anyway, that's who blew it, and that's the reliever report. We now look forward to looking at the full slate of games here today. The games I want to highlight: Mariners versus the Rangers. That's going to be Bryce Miller versus Mackenzie Gore. A couple good power righties here. Second game I want to highlight: Yankees versus the Phillies. This one's on Apple TV. It is Will Warren versus Jesus Luzardo. The Astros at the White Sox, I think, could be quite an interesting one here. Spencer Arrighetti versus Davis Martin. Arrighetti, always kind of an interesting pitcher to watch, and Martin is trying to salvage what's been a bit of a second half slump. But my game of the day is going to be 2 really interesting pitchers. That is Joey Cantillo versus Shane McClanahan in the Guardians versus Rays game. I love Joey Cantillo a lot. Expect to hear from we talk about him tomorrow, because that's going to be my game of the day. And that's the very short First Pitch podcast for today. For a deeper dive on everything baseball, hop on to pitcherlist.com to further access. Sign up for PL Plus or PL Pro to gain access to Discord, PLV apps, and to support the Pitcherlist staff. Finally, my name is Carson Picard. You can find me on the Shells podcast with my great co-host Eric Henriksen, as well as on the website formerly known as Twitter at Carson Picard PL. Bless the knees, bless the elbows. Thank you very much for listening. Take care, you guys.